Well. How are you
Well,
doing,
well,
Nick?
well. Very good. How are you?
Good, good. I'm just checking to see it's not updating that we are actually live. There we go. There we go. There we go. So we are live.
We are live.
So it's a Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, and you have been super busy for a while, and so have I. We've both been very, very busy. And in my part of the world, I have accomplished what I set out to do. So I am ready to get back in the swing of things of doing lives and hanging out with people and seeing what's going on. I know that you had you had a town hall in Discord last night, and I listened to most of it. Then got distracted, then went back to it and everything like that. But tons of information out there, tons of information for Vitruvio.
Yeah, absolutely. Yesterday was actually a fairly memorable day for us because it was the first day that people were able to officially get their vested Vitru into their wallets. We also did an airdrop of the Vitro token to all the Uxie sacrifice holders, so all of them got that, and we crossed a major threshold in our booster fundraising, $1 million. So that
Oh,
was amazing. So
nice.
yeah, yesterday was a great day.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. Now, I have questions
Chris,
about what we learned yesterday
you
and
appear to
all
be
that kind of
frozen,
stuff.
Chris.
You okay?
Is
I
that
see
just for
you
me?
fine. You see me fine?
Yeah, but you were frozen for a while. I don't know how it was for everybody else, but for me at least you were frozen. I did not see you talk, which is
I
weird
think
because I can see the background animation and everything. So
I think everything is fine on the live for me. Let me know in the chat, guys, if you're seeing us mess it up or whatever. But I have some questions about the Swapper dApp, and I think
yes,
that there might be some questions in the comments and everything like that. So now on the you basically on the Swapper dApp, you're sliding back and forth whether you're going to have Vitru in your wallet or if you're going to have Vitro in your wallet or if you're going to do half and half
yes,
or 50-50. But
or some
well,
combination of
it's not
yeah.
50-50 because you get a bonus on the other end, right? So it's like, is it one and
Exactly.
a
You
half
get
times?
double the
Yep.
vitros. Yep. You
Okay.
you get 2x the vitros. Yeah.
2x. Okay. So you get 2x if you slide towards Vitro. So but I think that's pretty self-explanatory. But in the chat, I saw that and this is there might be tickets in for this, but I saw some people had said that they accidentally went the wrong way and they wanted to know if they could reset it. Is that anything that's come up that you guys have talked about and noticed that's been a problem?
Not really, and I cannot fathom how that is even possible
Mhm.
because even if you don't look at the slider, you just move it left and right. It says very clearly what the outcome is going to be in terms of both Vitru and Vitru numbers, and it also spells it out in text there. So I'm not sure why people would be having a tough time with that. But certainly, if there's people that have had issues, we'll look at it and do take whatever steps are needed to fix it. But so far, having seen so many transactions go through, I'm inclined to believe that it is okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there might be a few people, and it might end up being one of those things that maybe it could just be a ticket and get fixed and all that. So,
Yeah.
but and I see Crypto Terror. Oh, there he is. Okay, I was gonna say you can come up whenever you want, buddy. You got that.
Let's put Nick back
How's it
on
going?
top, though, please. Hey, you doing?
Dad of girls, outnumbered.
Woohoo.
That's awesome. So
I need that shirt. I need
my
that
daughter's
shirt.
bought that for Christmas. Yeah, my daughter's bought that for me for Christmas a couple years ago.
Yeah.
My daughter's got me the years ago. It was DADDD, I think, like that. Something about dads against daughters dating dummies or something. I don't know, but
Oh,
I
brilliant.
wore
Yeah.
that shirt all the time. So, but okay, so the slide on the Swapper dApp, the slide on there, it's pretty self-explanatory. So if anybody has any kind of issues with it, it could be like a case by case basis and it maybe a ticket or something like that. So
Yep.
all right. So Terry, have you been paying attention? Do you know what you're going to do with your
I
your
am not
wallet?
sure yet. I need to consult with my boyfriend-in-law.
Oh yeah, you're okay. Yeah.
He hasn't kept up, and so I sent him the links today to get caught up on what's going on and see what he wants to do, because it's not just all my money. So
Yeah. I think that's important. And I think that with some of the some of the things that Nick has talked about, there's a lot of stuff that's going on. And I think it's, Terry, and Nick and I haven't had a chance to talk much over the last couple of months, but Terry knows I have been massively busy with the project that I've been working on.
yes,
And I've finally got to a point where it is launched, ready to go. And there's like a Discord, people can join, they can do whatever. We're not accepting money until March 1st. So now, if you want to be a part of it, you can go join the Discord. There's an explanation how to do it. It's free. Those things will be free to you forever. But after March 1st, there will be products and things like that will be for sale, and you can decide whether you want to be a part of it or not. But now that is finished and that is accomplished, I'm very excited. Now, like I was telling Nick, I'm ready to get back in the swing and doing some lives and stuff like that. And Terry and I, we were live Sunday night, last night, and we made sure we tried to get done with our live before your town hall. Just, we didn't want to.
I appreciate that.
We wanted to make sure.
4 minutes before we went live.
Yeah, it was. I was like, hey, we got to go. See you later, guys. So, and I imagine with all the things that Vitruvio has been doing, that there's going to be a lot of questions, and there's a lot of comments in the. Right now, I'm already seeing quite a few comments in here, asking Nick some questions. But Nick, so how have you been doing outside of Vitruvio? What's been going on with you? I mean, actually, it's probably not like a dumb question, because it's probably everything from the sun up to sundown is Vitruvio.
That's right. That's what I was about to say. Other than whatever family time commitments are there, which I enjoy, it's pretty much been this. I do continue to engage the creator community, because I worked very hard to build that engagement and build that rapport with them. And now is a crucial time to keep that. And so I do continue to do that. But that's Vitruvio pretty much, because that's our ecosystem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we have a few comments in here. One of the comments I've already started, and I don't know if you want to talk about it now or if this is something that I know we talked about a few things before we went live, but that we were talking about this, a couple people in the community and a few people in the chat, but about the MEXC, that from what we've gathered and what we've figured out is that you can be a part of that, but you have to use, as a U.S. citizen, you got to use a VPN. And then if you are caught using the VPN, they'll confiscate the. So that's what we gathered. So I think that, I don't know how much you guys know about the MEXC and everything like that, but is that going to be a problem?
Yeah, it seems to me like there's conflicting information there. So I need to get to the bottom of it, and I will get to the bottom of it. But rest assured, we won't be on only one exchange, right? So, I mean, that's the first one, but we'll make moves to get on multiple exchanges. So, I am aware of the fact that there was a conversation about that, and I will get to the bottom of it. I have a screenshot from someone from MEXC saying that it's fine with the US, but then obviously that's not. It doesn't appear to be the case, so I do need to talk to them and get on a call with them. So I'll do that.
Yeah, because it looked, from what I understand, and I can't verify, I didn't do anything with it, but the people were going there and going like, you can't do it. They were getting like a notification that they couldn't. But let's hope that it gets worked out. And again, like you were saying, that's not going to be the only one that exchange that we're on there.
Yep.
So New Web Videos says hi to everybody.
Hello.
What's up, Mookie? Happy New Year to you and everybody else. Um, let's see here. Nick, someone, Vitru holders made a mistake that they did the opposite. Can it be done manually if it's done by mistake? I think that you're talking about the slide, the swapper, right?
I'm presuming so. I am not sure how you can be mistaken when there are two very large numbers there indicating what the outcome is going to be. So yeah, I would suggest opening a support ticket and we'll look into it.
Nice.
Yeah, we need to get
I
those
want to
taken
say,
care of.
yeah, the whole point of it being sealed deal is now you have tokens, that were
Yeah,
airdropped to
I mean,
you. Etc.
you would think that. I mean, because when I looked at it, and I have 3 wallets, so I looked at it on one wallet, and then I was, and then I mean, I understood it. So then I did like an Excel sheet and everything like that, and then I just went and, okay, I'm just going to walk away. I'm going to give it a little bit of time. I'm going to maybe be this live with you, see if learn anything, and just see how my gut feels and everything like that. Because and then listen to the community and all that. But so I guess if I was rushing through it, I might have done it the wrong way. But it
Yeah,
does
that's
give you
possible.
an answer right there. So we'll have to, hopefully, if you have any confusion whatsoever, that's all I can say is if you have any kind of confusion, you're not sure about anything, don't do it. Ask questions until you're 100% sure.
Yeah, there's enough time you can take your time and get the answers and reach out to people. It's not
Yeah,
like,
this needs to be done by the 16th, right?
I believe that's I believe 16th midnight Eastern time. Yeah, and I will certainly take all this feedback and add more language there. Clarifying that if you click
Mhm.
this button, here's what you are going to get. I mean, that's exactly why there's a line there that says airdrop. This is what's going to happen to it. But I can make that larger and more prominent.
nice.
Yeah. AA's that. I mean, I kind of gathered that as soon as I started messing
Yeah.
with the slider. I was like, okay, you slide it right, keep Vitro, slide it left, keep Vitro.
Yep.
I think we're way behind on comments, so I'm going to start jumping ahead here. Let's see. There we go. I don't know what this is. Viking Crypto. Could you ask Nick if he believes that the original Seifu sacrifice should receive value for money, given that almost all funds have been exhausted and limited liquidity left for launch? Well, I mean, I don't know.
Is it me, or do I keep getting frozen, or I think something's up with my connection. It might be because of the rain we have here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's asking you, Nick. Crypto Viking Warriors asking you.
Yes.
That was yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was the question. I answered yes. Yeah.
That was it. Yeah, that was it. Yes.
Mike, I'm not sure what that. Some people need errors on the slider because English is not their first language. Oh, well, the numbers there. Let's hope that they can work it out. Like I said, if you have any kind of questions or anything like that, make sure that you ask the questions. Don't do anything until you're 100% sure. So what's the next thing in line for Vitruvio? What now that we do the swapper, you got to like the 16.
Chris, I'm going to leave the studio and come back in because the stream keeps getting interrupted for me and I can't follow. So give me a moment. I'll rejoin. All right. Thank you.
All right. That sounds good.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, buddy. So my thing is that, all right, now that we have the swapper, okay, what's the next event? Because what I want to do is I want to make sure that people understand what they have to do now.
Right.
And then what they have to prepare for.
Right. What's the next step? Where we going? Like 2 steps ahead if you can get, or 3 steps.
Because I am like a big timeline kind of person.
Yep.
So I want to be like, okay, we're talking about this right now. You'll need to make a decision and be ready by such and such a date. Then in the back of your mind, you're going to need to be thinking about this for the next decision, that kind of stuff. Because I don't want everybody to just get hit with.
This Chris.
You ready, Nick? You want me to bring you up? Yeah.
Yep.
How's
hope
it
it's better
going
now.
now? Is it better?
Yeah.
So, like what I was telling Terry is that I'm a big timeline person. So my thing is that I want to basically say, okay, we got to figure this. The swapper app has to be figured out for you by the 16th. So with that being said, I also want to start preparing them. What's the next thing that everybody's going to have to be making a decision, or they're going to have to be looking forward to, or keeping an eye out for after the swapper app? Anything?
Yeah. So there's a ton of activity happening, and it's all in parallel. So the next thing is going to be the release of the Vitroscope app, and that's where we are going to deploy in segments the various features of it. We start off with the vesting feature, so you can look at your account and see how many Vitru you hold, what the vesting schedule is, and there'll be a claim button. So anytime you want to, you can go hit claim, and any of the Vitru that have accumulated there, you'll be able to get it in your wallet, and that includes rebases, because rebases are unfettered, if you will. That's the word I was looking for. So so that's the first thing. Then the next thing is we have to wait until the booster sales close, and then we'll release the booster feature. The reason we have to wait till they close is because the bonus percentages, etc., cannot be calculated until we close it off. So then you'll be able to boost your accounts and increase the accelerate the vesting. I've heard a lot of people ask, well, does the boost work retroactively? And the answer is yes, it works from Genesis forward. So it will figure out and calculate whatever acceleration and you have to do, and it'll release those Vitru for you to claim. We are also going to then have the three other features in the Vitru Scope app. The ability for you to go and look at and claim your perks based upon whatever your wallet situation is. We won't have revenue share yet, but eventually we'll have a tab there for your rev share. And then one feature that you're more likely to use sooner is governance. So you'll be able to see what your governance votes are, and you'll be able to delegate those votes to other people if you wish to. So if you are not active in the community and you want to kind of delegate that to someone else, you can do that. So the Vitroscope app sort of is going to come together over time. It's also going to have the calculator. It is essentially going to be your primary hub for all things related to Vitruvio from a crypto investor standpoint. So we intend to keep adding to it. One of the other things you'll be able to do there is also swap between Vitru and wrapped Vitru, which you will need to do if you intend to trade once we have wrapped Vitru listed on a centralized exchange.
Mm-hmm. All right. That's good. That's good information there.
Yeah, so that's one app. The other app that is coming up and almost ready for release is Vitru Studio. So that one is a bit more complicated. It embodies all the standards we've talked about so far, and the ability for the 1,000 Genesis artists to consign their work to the blockchain, and then essentially just go through the process, enter the metadata, get all the media done in the right size, add their licenses, all of that. So there's that app has been in the making for a bit now. It's fairly broad and deep, but it's only still the alpha version. There's much more that goes into it. And then the third is an API, application programming interface, for streaming those artworks. We're also working on that. But I realized that for this particular audience, the crypto investor part is more important. So let's go back to that. And there's one other very important piece that we are bringing up. And but before I go there, I want to talk about Vitro, because I don't think we've ever had a chance to talk about the Vitro token on this stream, and I want to make sure people understand and make an educated decision around it. So
yeah, I'm very keen on that, because that's in my wheelhouse. Because with me is that my plan, and it always has been, is staking or vesting, whatever, years down the road. So I just need to know what to do now to stake it, vest it, whatever, and then come back in a couple of years. That's my plan, and that's what it's always been. So
Put it in the
So that's
bank.
fantastic.
Come back and get later.
right, yeah.
Yeah. So if you take the long view, let's spend a brief moment on Vitru first, and then switch over to Vitro. So if you take that long view, what is the long view on Vitru? It's the 5 to 7 year sort of rebasing that's going to occur, and that's going to multiply. And if you have boosted, then you also have perpetual revenue share. So those are the two elements that are go hand in hand on the Vitru side of things. Now, the Vitro token, the equivalent of cake on on PancakeSwap, etc., is essentially the governance token of the DEX. And the reason it was introduced in the first place is because time and time again we got feedback from institutional investors that our cap table is skewed too heavily around Vitru, and that is understandably so because of the fact that we raised, prior to me, a large amount of capital, and that capital though was gone. And so, but it stayed on the books, right? The investors stayed on the books, the capital didn't. And so now we have a cap table where we have to raise more capital, but those investors are looking at it and going, no, that's your cap table is skewed incorrectly. So I had to make a decision on how to adjust that. And the whole reason we are at the swapper, etc., is to give the community the option to essentially help mitigate that situation. And we didn't want to make it involuntary, so it is voluntary, except for the people who are not part of this. If they are not around, we cannot wait indefinitely. So we essentially, it's been over 30 days. It will be over 30 days when we close things off, and it gives us a chance to get the cap table right, so that existing investors who are coming in now feel like, okay, this makes sense to us, because they need to see an upside also. All right. So in order to make this palatable and make it not only that but also enticing, had to make sure that the Vitro token was conceived and was designed in a way that it would actually be rewarding in the same way that Vitro is with rebasing. So there are two elements to Vitro that are extremely important for people to understand. The first is the DEX, when implemented, will have a 0.30% protocol fee on all transactions.
Okay, 0.03 is. Did you say
0.30?
0.30.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So now of that, 0.25 stays with the protocol, and 0.05 gets distributed pro rata among any stakers of the Vitro token. So I want to be very clear that when I use the term stake in the context of the Vitro token, it is not like some tokens where you have an APR and you earn tokens and all of that. There is none of that. It is very simply, when you stake Vitro, you're parking the coin, the token, into the smart contract. And when you have staked, you are eligible to earn a pro rata portion of that 0.05%. So you can stake and unstake as often as you want, whenever you want, as much as you want, and the contract will figure out what your earnings are, and you'll be able to claim those. So that's one thing. But the second thing, which is, I believe, the reason, or rather the focal point of the Vitro token, which makes it very enticing for sort of lifetime revenue, just like we have perpetual revenue share with the boosters, on Vitro we have perpetual ability for you to stake and get 0.50% of every token that is minted in an app that we are going to release called the Vitru Mint. Now, the idea behind Vitru Mint is to provide arts organizations, whether it's visual arts, music, movies, etc. And there are many of these, right? So in arts, we have museums and galleries, very large ones. In music, we have music labels, we have publishers. In movies, we have tons of production houses, movie publishing entities, etc. All of these organizations have associated with them stakeholders. Let's take a museum as an example, because it's the easiest one to understand. A museum has artists, it has curators, it has benefactors, it has patrons, it has the administration, and it has the general viewing public, all of those. Now, to date, uh, these folks have not entered Web3 because there hasn't been the element of trust. There are no standards, and it's just a wild west. We are okay with that because we have chosen to be on the bleeding edge, but they don't.
Right.
They are more conservative. They are looking at standards and things like that. Well, Vitruvio is bringing that to them, but with VitruMint, what we are doing is something very unique and interesting. We are giving these organizations the ability to essentially mint their own token for that community. So essentially to tokenize their community. Now, why would someone do that, right? That's the logical question to ask. Well, you do that because you give people the ability to not only share in the success of your organization, but also participate in funding it. And in the case of museums, fractionalizing art purchases. Museums are usually funded by foundations and other things like that, and they're always looking for donors and etc. This is why you see always, like
That's what
some
they live
museum
on.
exhibit funded by Bank of America or something like that. They're
Mhm.
always looking for that. Well, now you have the opportunity for them to pick up maybe a set of artworks, etc., that might be in the $1 million range. Instead of going to a patron like a bank, they can have this community of token owners essentially have fractional ownership of it. Now, they can also use those tokens to gate entrance. So, for example, if you are a token holder, you get free access to the museum on weekends and things like that. Like you can already do that with your bank credit card. Some of them allow you free access to museums and all that. So those tokens can be used in a variety of scenarios. But bringing it back to Vitro, every time one of these communities, and there are 19,000 galleries in the world alone, not counting the museums, not counting the music labels and all of that. Every time one of these communities uses VitruMint to create their token, we essentially give them a one-stop shop. Like they literally will create a website which has an online community. It has the ability to manage tokens, chat, etc. So essentially a virtual Web3 community. But 0.50 of that initial mint, whatever the initial supply is, that gets airdropped to everyone who's staked Vitro tokens. So
Nice.
you are basically leaving your Vitro token staked there. And as these communities come in, you are getting airdrop tokens of all these communities. So in terms of diversifying your portfolio, it's automated and it's your choice. Like you can keep your stake Vitro as long as you want, as long as it's staked. You are getting a pro rata portion of that 0.50 of that airdrop. So in the calculator, I'll do some numbers and share with you. If you look at a typical sort of token mint or something, they might have like 100 million or something like that. And you can do the math then and figure out what percentage of Vitro you would have to have staked in order to get a meaningful number. But my guess is that someone who has maybe like a percentage of that overall pro rata pool could get something like 3,000 to 5,000 tokens with every airdrop. Now, as part of this program, we also require them to provide liquidity and add that pair with on the DEX. So it's a one-stop shop for everything. So the airdrop tokens you get are instantly liquid.
Nice.
So this is why I'm kind of excited about Vitro. I see Vitro as the workhorse. It is the utility token of the blockchain. It is used for everything. There's like no escaping it. It is, and that's where it will gain its value over time. With Vitro, it's specifically the strength of communities building on our platform and using it to tokenize. This is a brave new world of tokenized creator-centric organizations that we are building here that heretofore does not exist, and people haven't even conceived of it, but we are going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, with what you were saying about the Web3 community and everything like that, it really resonates with me because that is similar to what I'm trying to do with my ROI store. Is that get an area where my focus is I want to help people learn and how to gain a return on investment on anything, not let crypto, not investments or whatever. Like we were talking the other night, a refrigerator. Have a community is like, I need a refrigerator. Well, this is the best one that I got, that kind of stuff. How to learn and gain a return on investment and building a Web3 community for that. And I that resonates with me because that's my focus, is that what I've been working on, and Terry and I and all of us have been working on with my ROI store. So that is pretty exciting. So, and I do think, Nick, it is a little distracting, some of that great artwork behind you, because every once in a while when
Yes.
you were talking, I would get distracted because I'd be like, oh, look at that. Look at
I like that one doing the flip. This one, I keep looking at that one right there.
yeah. I'm like, where is he going to land? So, and then you got the what's that, the walrus one.
Yep.
And then there's another one it's like a camera. It's all colorful and
Yeah, I haven't
everything
had a
like
chance
that.
to update, but I have a new version of the script for the API for streaming that we're working on. I will enable that so we can get more of the Genesis artists on here also.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So now there's a couple questions out there, but I didn't know if you wanted to if you had something that you wanted to bring up that we talked about right before. Is this a good time? Or
I think so. I mean, I think this would be a very good time. So let's go for it.
All right, here we go.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Super.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have breaking news.
Breaking news. Well, I'm very excited to report that by the end of next week, we will have a functional DEX with wrapped Vitru and Vitro pair.
Awesome. So the end of next week.
By the end of next week, yeah.
Nice.
Very nice. That's awesome. So that's our big news.
That will be an open DEX, so other people can create tokens and add them on there.
That's great news. That's very good news. All right, so let me jump on to. I think Roar Bitcoin put this in here, and I think you spent the last 15 minutes or whatever talking about this. But do you see anything in his comment that you might have missed? Or
can you please explain how the Vitru perks from Vitro staking works? 10% of Vitru swapped when you stake and when you unstake and then stake again, for example. All right. So I think there is no element of Vitru involved in Vitro staking. So that's the first thing. We can remove that from the equation. The fact that you swapped is irrelevant from the perspective of that Vitro staking. It basically comes down to this. You hold a certain amount of Vitro. You can go sell it on the centralized exchange. You can hold it, or you can stake it. When you stake it, you start earning income as the DEX heats up. So the DEX has to move, and have traction in order for it. So it's not like you're going to see that right away. It's going to take a little bit of time, maybe a couple months or so, as these programs come into fruition. But it all comes down to, stake or unstake. It's unrelated to Vitru.
there you go. And Omar Highlands. Oh, okay. He corrects himself. He says he's talking about with mine. Right now, I am 50-50. So I'm 50-50 on doing it. My thing is, my goal and what I've always wanted to do it's kind of like with Vulcan too, but when Nick took over in Vitruvio and everything I was pretty much staking or vesting for the longest period of time. And that's what I'll be doing. So I'll be running the numbers on what it would look like if I stake and vest for a very long time. So that's where I'm at. So a little bit of information that Nick gave tonight is going to be very helpful. So we'll see. But
that's what I'm leaning towards too. But I have that conversation with my other person, what their problems, what their thoughts are. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean your situation is that I think I have it a little bit better because I have 3 different wallets.
Right.
So I can adjust a little bit on, okay, well, this wallet, I can do it this way. This wallet, I can do the opposite. And I might do one wallet 100% one way, the other wallet 100% the other, and the other one right in the middle, and just call it a day and see where I'm at. So is there a node calculator? When is validation? When do they go live?
Yeah, so I just had a meeting with Baron actually a couple of days ago, and Vitru scope is also key to this, because one of the core NFT types the validators are going to have is a validator NFT in there. And one thing you're going to find with that is a button that leads you to Synapse. So we just finished setting up the Synapse KYC there. So validator can go do the KYC, and then they come back. And once they come back, then they have access to the script, etc., for onboarding. And so I think what the VTech team is responsible for the scheduling of those. I don't know about that, and we'll just start onboarding them, in some organized fashion. So, but the first step there is to get the KYC done. I'm not sure what a node calculator means. I presume it's about calculating the node's income, but I think there's already models for that out there.
Yeah, and that's one of those ones. I was never a real big fan of that, because it seemed like there was so much grief when they did the original one, was like last year or whatever. Everybody got confused by it, and it created a lot of grief here and there. But so where can I find my tokens in my wallet? You only see in your wallet, there was airdropped Vitru and one of each, right? And then when you swap, if your Vitro, you see it. Which one do you see immediately?
Well, the Vitro, because it's a native token, you're going to see that always. And Vitro being a smart contract based token, you would need to add its address, the contract address, and in the swapper, it gives you that choice. Actually, let me just share my screen and show you the last stage of it. 1 second.
Yeah, no, I got the contract. Yeah, the contract's right there on the it's right on
the last step. The last step of swapper, after you seal, you see this, and it gives you the option to add your Vitro to MetaMask. But you can also go on the Explorer and find the address and add it.
Well, if you go to the web page, because this is how I did it, because I wasn't even paying attention. But when you go to the web page, and under blockchain, Vitro swap DEX, right underneath there, it's the contract. The Vitro contract is there. When you go there, it's at the top. Copy it, you put it in your wallet, and it was a couple of buttons for me, so I did it the hard way, so my bad. So that is I think we got that. And then here's a question about, now I think I have a lot of questions about liquidity and things like that. Does anybody know how much liquidity will be available for Vitro? So
we'll be defending the price for a bit. I will sort of talk about the liquidity once we have gone through the final stages, and have because we are still working with investors. There's essentially 3 sets of investors in this here. There's the booster investors, there's the SAFT investors who are investing directly, and there are investors who are focused only on liquidity. They are targeted their funds for liquidity. So toward the end of the month, we'll talk more about it as deals are signed and the funds essentially come into our multi-sig. I just know from prior experience that when it comes to investment capital, you never discuss it in public until the deal is fully signed and the money is in the wallet. That's just how it works.
Yeah, that's a fine line too, because you have a lot of people in the community that are like, they'll see the multi-sig, and they see the funds where they're at, and then they're nervous as to things that can and can't be talked about publicly. So that, to me, I can understand their point of view on it, but I can also understand your point of view on it. But at the same time, I mean, a lot of money has been spent thus far up to this point, and when the community only sees a part of it, that's where there's a lot of anxiety. I can see
Yeah,
that.
but Chris, I don't understand. I do not understand that one bit, because any rational person will hear the phrase that says we are raising booster capital on an ongoing basis to
right.
fund operations. It is plain and simple, and I don't know how much simpler I can make it, right? So I don't know why people have any anxiety about it. We are basically using the booster capital for funding day-to-day operations. And you see what we are building, the results around it, those don't come in a vacuum. There's developers that have to be paid, there's marketers that have to be paid.
Yeah, and
Things,
I'm saying more along the liquidity when we launch that I think
that's completely
when they
separate.
get to that
Yeah.
point, yeah, when they get to that point and they can actually, and you can actually talk about it and it can be visible and everything like that, I think a lot of that anxiety will go away. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. I mean, there's a lot of things that have to be done, but in the past, you have to understand this community comes from a past where they, you know, they were told one
I
thing
get
and
that, Chris, but
totally
but
different.
but
Yeah.
this community has also needs to move past it and get mature. There's been 5 months
Mhm.
of solid, rock solid information, deliverables, etc. So I will not suffer those people anymore. They need to grow up and look at the mountain of evidence that is there in front of them, and stop looking in the rear view mirror to drive forward. You cannot move forward driving backwards in a rear view mirror, right? You got to look forward, look at the evidence. And so anyway, I don't suffer any of those questions anymore. I am done with that. I'm like, look at every download for 17 weeks in a row, 17 weeks in a row, for 2 hours every week. I present copious information. If they are not going to be happy with that, we have also given them 3 opportunities to exit the community now. And hopefully they will take that and leave us who believe in the future of this project alone. That's it.
Yeah, and I can see there I go get distracted by that painting behind you. Look at that.
That's
But
amazing.
yeah, I can see what you're talking about there. I think that Aurora Bitcoin has I want to clear up what he's talking about because he has a couple of messages in here. So he said, you said the Vitru perks for Vitro stakers will be vested for 24 months, like all perks pool. And if I recall well, you said that 10% of the Vitru swap for Vitro would go to the pool for the stakers. So
Yes, he's correct. He's absolutely correct about that. So we'll take a portion of the Vitru and put it into our perks pool. And so whenever essentially you've staked, you'll be eligible for a portion of that. So yep, that's correct.
nice. And
Yeah,
then
and I see comments here saying I'm upset. I am not at all upset. I am passionate about our project. I'm passionate about the ecosystem, and it's just irritating. It's like, bugs basically. They're irritating. So think of it as not me being upset, but irritated. That's all. So I am not at all upset. Yeah.
yeah, I'm a little upset about I'm getting completely lost on these comments. So, but here we go. Okay. I have it on the screen. I was looking for him. Nick, as things move along, will our vested Vitru that gets released be automatically airdropped in our wallets, or do we have to claim them?
Yeah. So the entire pool of Vitru that is to be allocated to all the various people who have it is vesting in a smart contract. Smart contracts do not work asynchronously. You have to actually create a transaction in order to make a change in that. And so in the Vitru scope, there'll be a button for claim, but you will have to claim them. But they will not go anywhere. You can come anytime in the future and hit that claim button, and they will all be there waiting for you. Now, it is smart contract based. If someone wants to, run a job and hit claim for everybody and pay the gas, which is minimal, that's fine. So someone can do that. They can run an automated bot or something, and we might also do that, to make it easier for people. So, but by default, you would have to actually claim.
Uh-oh. Getting messages. All right. So then the next one here is we would like to have time until the end of the month for boosters. Some people also asked maybe we can vote on it. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's
we're
been a
gonna
lot
keep
of.
the.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I hear that. I hear that feedback from everybody. Um, uh, it's always been the intent to sort of keep the boosters going until we reach the point where we have to list on the centralized exchange, because we can't have two price points there, right? So what I committed doing is, when we get to that threshold, it won't be like, oh, tomorrow we are going to list on exchange, so let's turn it off. I have committed to giving people about a week's notice for that. So we'll keep it going for a bit. It is our operating capital, so we do want to keep it open. So,
Richie, I don't want to minimize your comment, but if you just jump in the Discord and have a conversation with some of the mods in there, and most of the people in there, they're very helpful. Go in there, and I think in the general chat or the holder chat, they'll be there for you. So just ask your questions in there. We're going to get on to other ones, and I don't think that it makes a difference on whether you had Trust Wallet. Live Freedom is here. Great to see you, Live Freedom. Hi, everybody. I'm late, so maybe this has been asked. I've been out of the loop lately. What do I do with my boosters? I'm not clear on what I do with them in conjunction with the swaps.
you do nothing with the boosters right now. They will be activated essentially after the booster program is closed, at which point you will be able to go into the Vitru Scope app and essentially boost your holdings of any wallet.
Mm-hmm. Sunny T, nice to see you. Visi Lima says, more we sell, better price we get. Also, I myself would like also to buy another 10 boosters. However, I have to wait for my paycheck. So.
Real world problems. Yep.
Let's see. Yeah, a bunch of comments in there. People are excited about your answer and everything. So I think it's a strong answer.
Yeah, a majority of the comments agree with what you're saying. So
yeah. No, I don't think that he's calling people bugs.
Oh goodness.
I don't see any other questions that are coming up, or I can't read them fast enough. Let's see. So
can you undo their? I'll post something real quick. Can you undo it? Did you talk about this earlier?
Yeah, we did talk about that earlier. I think the best way to do that right now, if you've made a mistake or anything like that, maybe submit a ticket. I think the value in that slider to me, and I may look at things totally different, but it seems pretty self-explanatory to me. So if you made a mistake or something like that, I think now is the time. Maybe put a ticket in, try to get it worked out and everything like that now, because I think this is going to be moving pretty fast. And that's why I was super excited about finishing what I'd been working on to get back to it, because I really feel like the community needs to be smarter, educated and prepared for these fast moving things going forward. And I don't want it to be one of those things that, oh, I didn't realize, or, oh, I made a mistake, or, like Live Freedom. They're running off doing their stuff and everything like that. And I don't know how many people I've talked to that over the last week that are like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I haven't been paying attention, so I want to be able to educate them, and I want them to be able to get educated and know what to look for, because I don't want them caught in the cold later on and trying to fix an issue that, early.
Yeah. And Chris, I'll take responsibility for that. There's been so much going on that unless you're in the fray, it's kind of hard. So one of the things I did commit to, and we started working on, is to create essentially a Discord channel that is, here is the current snapshot of everything you need to know about the project, like what's happening right now, and then a synopsis with an FAQ essentially of things that are the top questions that come up. So we can have one place that you can go to for for all of that. But
Well, I
even
mean,
with that, like things change daily, so
yeah.
it's going to be hard to keep up with it. So
In your defense, though, and this is not a dig at you or anything like that, but I have completely been out of the loop on everything because there's times I'm not even in Discord. So
We just talked about that the other day. Like, I haven't been looking. I've been busy with this.
yeah, and if people will say, "Hey, what are you doing with this?" I'm like, I didn't even know we were doing that. What what are we doing? I mean, seriously, that the platform that we've created and everything like that, 400 lessons. I mean, you just don't do that in a day, So there was a ton of work that went into it, a lot of sleepless nights for the last 2 months. So finally done with it. Now I want to catch up. Hopefully, maybe the community can catch me up to speed. But I got the benefit of being able to talk to Nick, and we'll do it live so that we can help anybody that's out there that needs to be caught up. I lost my place in the comments. I probably have missed.
I just started one down there from Slumdog. It's a few down still.
Sunny T. Yep. Hi, Sunny. Yeah.
Teddy
One is here. Teddy One. It's always nice to see Teddy One.
He's having a fight with somebody else in those comments, so they need to chill out a little bit.
Now, nice. Teddy One, I haven't played it tonight, but Teddy One, I went across that breaking news. We did a breaking news a long time ago, and Teddy One's son was watching, and I'll try to bring it up and throw it up on there. But he was watching. Teddy had it on the screen, and he sent me the recording of it, and I played it every once in a while. But I have not. I actually a couple weeks ago saw it and played it again when I was working on something else. Eric says, Nick, when Studio will be released for testing?
Actually, Fur did a live today, a space. Some 700 people showed up for that to demo the current version of Studio. So our goal is next week to start onboarding the alpha with the Studio Alpha artists in cohorts. We'll start with 10 or 15, get their feedback, then increase maybe 50, 100, and then get all 1,000 done. Our goal is to get them in as quickly as possible. So the team in Brazil has been working on that Vitru Studio, and I'm very happy with it. It's coming together quite well. And I have to see where they will be on Friday. I'll probably try and get a demo going on Friday at download. So
nice. That'll be good. Zach is here. Is Zach saying hi, Dad? Is he? I wonder who he's talking to, because
it's not to me. I only have girls.
Yeah. So I would assume. Oh, and Nick, I did. This is on just a personal note. I was in and out the last months watching the downloads. I would try to get them live, or I'd try to watch them later on. And I want to say personally, I appreciate the fact that of you continue to wear red on Fridays and all that, because it does mean a lot. It's something that a lot of my veteran friends and stuff like that. I've even had a conversation up at the Legion. We had a conversation about it, but it's pretty respectful and honorable thing to do. So I appreciate that.
Yep. Fridays.
Well, it is such a small gesture given what you do for the country, So if I can't remember to put red on, that's shame on me. I definitely will always. Now that I know that that's a thing, I will definitely do it consistently. I appreciate your service. Thank you so much. And
I mean, it's been a very tough time for at least the last 20 something years that we've been involved in conflicts, and then we still are. It always seems like somebody or somewhere there's somewhere around the world deployed, and it's just you wear red on Fridays to just think about them, So yeah. I appreciate that. So let me get to this note. Slumdog Millionaire, how's it going, Slumdog? When you sell Vitro, will it be traded for ETH?
I gotta look at the contract and see the pairs. I will make a note and clarify that at the download about which pairs we'll be supporting initially on Maxi. So I will make a note of that and get you an answer by Friday.
Okay. All right. So and I saw a comment Where am I at? Oh, I'm right on the starred one. Okay, good. I'm getting my first booster Friday. Nick is the man. It's thank you, Nick, for everything. There will be none of that. Bob is saying there will be none of that, Zach. So let's see. I just think people are talking. Bitcoin ETF approved. Best time to launch. Let's Vitro. Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah, I think the whole cryptocurrency in general, I think people are softening to it and everything. I spent a lot of time outside of crypto with what I've been working on, but most people don't even know what it is, and that's why I think that this project can be very vital, because you have artists out there that would like to branch out but have no idea. So your goal and everything like that can be good for them. But not just artists, right? We're just not. We're not just talking about just general. We're talking about all kinds of entertainment artist type people out there. I mean, there's going to be in the future. There's going to be like a music thing. You and I even talked about creators of something, like when the templates that I create for using a CNC. So I mean, there
Absolutely.
are things. Yeah.
We will definitely branch off into lots of different areas for the creator economy. We don't have a rigid definition of creator. It's people who create things that the output of which is consumed by other people for the various purposes.
Okay, so Hansy Boy says, I got no answer on the support ticket. I bought 8 boosters from the start. Now I have lost all my Vitru. Please. Didn't Zach talk about that he was working through the support tickets? I thought, where did I see that? Or didn't he talk about that in the town hall yesterday, that he was checking on support tickets and working through them? I don't know. He's in the chat though. I'm Lost says, why isn't Zach up here? He's more than welcome to jump up here. He says he's just dropping in.
Sky said, not Ethereum. The gas fees are stupid.
What's going on, Shadow X? I haven't seen you in a while. Okay, some of these seem like just like comments. Can you ask Nick if the investors he has are delivering the money in tranches?
Yeah.
I've never seen that word. I don't even know what that means.
It's a financial term where you essentially have a commitment to fund something, but you also have dates and amounts associated with that. So tranche is basically an installment.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more used in the financial industry.
Okay, we have another.
The answer is no.
Here. No. I cannot make an account on MEXCU. I get they're talking about that due to limitations in my region. Is there going to be an alternative platform for people like me?
Yeah, so actually Biz shared a screenshot with me, which basically says that MEXC reserves their right to refuse registration in what they are calling the restricted countries, and United States and Canada are one of them. But it doesn't mean that you are restricted. It reserves their right to restrict you if you do not meet the international AML standards or are considered a politically exposed person.
What is, someone said, you can't ask that question, Bob. He's going to get mad. What did Bob ask? Is this how many coins does Brian hold now that he's OTC with Arico?
Zero.
And I'll tell you this right now,
in
our legend did not have anything at all to do with that. NR has been out of the loop on everything crypto other than his work with Prism and all that. I mean, he's not remotely involved in that. I have talked to him personally. repeatedly over the last couple of months, and I don't know where that rumor got started, but he doesn't have anything to do with any of that stuff. So if it had to do with Forex, then maybe I'd be like, yeah, because he's a Forex guru. Let's see. Compton. I haven't seen you in a while. Okay, so I get no answer on the sport ticket. Zach says that he stated that he made a wrong decision on the seal the deal. Okay, so Nick, when will everyday people be able to use Vitru Mint? Only galleries at first. Then when could we use it?
Well, Vitrumint is a program and an application designed for institutions. So I don't know what an individual would do with it, because if an individual just wants to mint a token, they can mint a token right now, this moment, right? It's just throw a ERC smart contract on there and mint it. But this program here is for institutions because we provide more than just the token. We provide them the ability to have tokenized access to resources, the ability to have a community online to be able to share resources and things like that. So yeah, I mean, I would say that if you want to, use Vitru Mint as an individual, you would find it pretty not very useful actually, because it's designed for a community. But if you just want to mint a token, that's easy enough to do right now.
BNB pair, please. Let's see. Is it possible to have the names of the artists on the artwork on the gallery?
Which gallery? Can you clarify, please?
Yeah, clarify that one, because I am a little confused too. Were they talking about like the art behind Nick, or are you just?
Yeah, so these are the booster artists, and
Yeah.
the names are available. I'll have to look up where exactly they are, but they're definitely on a website or tweet somewhere. So I can follow up and provide that information.
Drew down. I got a support ticket I'm waiting on, but maybe 100 away. Support tickets are great.
A lot of the support tickets yesterday were during a period of time when you would click the seal the deal button and it would not work. And that's because the contract did not have enough funds in it. That was my mistake. You got the funds in there and all those problems went away instantly, because it was doing what it was designed to do. It was designed to reject transactions when there was not enough funds to fund the accounts, right? And so those support tickets, they'll have to go through them and cancel them out, because most of them are basically fixed itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, this is the Swassi Bunny TM. Is that a trademark? Did you trademark that? So, but it won't allow me to make an account because you're in Canada, and I had to use a VPN. But I'm worried about they find out I'm using a VPN and they'll freeze my account. Yeah, I can understand. That's what a lot of people were talking about, and they were concerned about it. But I do think that, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, but there will be, there will be other exchanges. So I mean I think that's going to be a priority they're going to try to work on. But for the time being, I don't know if I want to even be involved with MEXC. You know what I mean? I think that it might be valuable if you're outside the United States and everything like that. But I think I'm in a position where I'll wait. I'll wait to see what comes about. But
yeah, we'll be adding more. Yeah.
So let's see. I had to be in Romania. Oh, okay. Sonny T, been here since March. For you have, Sonny, you've been here. Good Lord. What a ride. Long time coming. Thank you, Nick. With the heart, Nick. You got the heart from Sonny, man.
Oh, thank you, Sonny. I appreciate it very much.
Pretty nice. Glad to have you back, Chris. Hope to see you more on your channel with Nick. Yeah. I mean, eventually, Nick and I will be talking about things, a little bit of Vitruvio, a little bit of my project, but just general things. I mean, hanging out.
I know, man.
Yeah, honestly, Chris, when I come on your show here, I certainly will answer questions about Vitruvio, but I consider this sort of the lighthearted version. I do the serious
Mhm.
one with the download, and it's
Right.
all information here, and I would like to get to the point where we've exhausted all the questions, and then we can just chat about random stuff. So I like
Yeah,
that.
because that's what I want to get into too, because there's so many things that, like, my thing was, and we talked about this prior to going live, is that my issue was that I wanted to give something back to the community, because I felt like these people had been crapped on for a very, very long time. So my thing was that I wanted to do a way that I'm not gonna give them money. And it's like, oh, okay, make that, and there's that painting. I love that one that's behind me.
Yes.
Hmm.
But I wanted to give something back to the community. So it was like, how can I give something back to them that would be some type of value? Well, I know people don't know much about digital courses and stuff like that, but there's like all these different 400 different digital courses that they'll get for free. You join our Discord, you go there, you get them for free. March 1st, we're going to start selling those and other things. And, so there's value in there. So you can learn how to do something. Maybe it helps you, whatever. But, bottom line is, and then when we do our lives, I want it to be more like, you got some questions, okay, but we're talking about other things. That's what I want to do eventually. But I understand this is a huge moment in Vitruvio, and that the community needs, they got questions and stuff like that. So, and being in a position here that we can talk about them, I think
Yeah,
that's great.
absolutely. Yeah, I think Q1 is pivotal for us here.
Mhm.
A lot of the things been working in the past 5 months are now coming to the point where of fruition, and we can start uh, you know uh, expanding. So the thing is, a lot of the folks that are in the community right now are looking at it from a very crypto centric lens, right? Like crypto investment lens, and I get that. I totally get that. But the long term viability of this protocol is when you consider it as a business first. The technology, like, it is almost irrelevant in that regard. When you look at the business, which means you have to look at the market, you have to look at the competition, you have to look at the most important thing, which is sort of the survival metric, if you will, for any startup, which is product market fit. So we have to get there. I have every confidence that we are probably more than half the way there at this point. But that doesn't mean we are 100% there. So product market fit. And if that's a phrase you're unfamiliar with, please look it up. Mark Andreessen, the founder of Netscape, and really the person who sort of created this web revolution, if you will, first coined that term for startups. It is when you create a product and there's a market. It's often when founders started off, they don't understand the market well. It's really when you get into the nitty gritty, when you get into the weeds and your product meets customers, that you find out if there's a fit or not, because the customers will tell you. And I'll tell you what, there isn't a product that has ever been created that survives first contact with the customer. You have assumptions, and they are going to be wrong. The customer will
Right.
tell you that. Your
Yep.
survival depends on if you can remedy that immediately, how fast you can remedy that and get back into the game. So product market fit is where we are headed here. And if you look at this from a business centric lens, which is how I look at it, because for me the crypto investment part is part of that business lens. You see a whole different picture to what we are doing. You see the complete landscape. You look at the fact that we are about to go head to head with large entrenched sort of marketplaces, and we are essentially saying, look, we're going to disrupt you. So we have to look at that. And I look at the crypto investor sort of investment aspect of it as sort of being reactive to what the business does, because it will,
Mhm.
right? If the business is doing well, then the crypto investment part works itself out. But if I focus on the crypto investment part of it, then we end up with having to create the scenario, which a lot of sort of fake projects do, which is just marketing, 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 buzz, buzz, buzz. but no substance behind it. So we are focused on substance. We're focused on actually creating a tangible product for a real problem that exists. And markets in general reward companies that create a meaningful solution that their customers want. So it's as simple as that, right? Like, look at any product out there. If customers want it, they are rewarded. The stock market rewards that company. So that's kind of my lens, if you will, about this. Because if we do well with the business, the coins and the tokens, etc., will work themselves out.
Yeah, no, that
Sorry,
and in
Yeah.
my situation, and I, I agree with you, but the way that I feel about it is I want to try to teach the community and outside the community how to try to maximize like their return on investment without depending on other people. And I think that your situation is that you want to create this, but focus on this and put this out there and let it do what it's going to do, but focus your attention on this product. So then, and I appreciate that and I understand it. And that I think our goals, although they're two different areas, are similar, because my thing is that, okay, here's how to get a return on investment. Now focus on getting a return on investment where you're not dependent on A, B, and C. Because like Terry and I, we were talking about that the other day. You got cryptocurrencies out there that people are creating, and they'll have a really great idea, but they just don't know how to do it. And then they have to depend on the devs. They have to depend on these whales selling on them, all these different things. Okay. And a lot of them will fail, stuff like that. But my goal is, how do you get a return on investment without having to depend on other people or other institutions? But that's my thing. But this guy on the screen here, this guy, if you guys know him, NR Legend, it is great to see you. But man, that guy's building an empire behind the scenes. He's a man. He's doing awesome things. Okay, now I miss. Oh, now we got this guy.
Who is that? Who is he?
This guy. This guy. He's another one too, man. He's always going. One of those things in different career fields and things like that, you always know that like accountants and tax people, they're really busy at the beginning of the year. But I never understood how like IT and network framing, jobs, how busy they get during the holidays. Because so many people, especially in the in the business world, they're taking their vacations. Well, these guys are going in and updating their networks and doing all these things and burning the midnight oil during that time when everybody's on their holiday vacations and stuff. So I didn't realize it. And this guy, I bet you this guy's working still right now. So he's busy. But yeah, been a slam day, just tuning in. Yeah, so
Unlike my business, I'm slow this time of year. Slower this time.
People don't get haircuts this time of year?
No, they do it all for the parties and all for the events. Then the dies down a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because they all cram it in before they go. And now I wanted to ask you this. I know it's completely off topic, and I apologize to people in the comments, but do you get busy prior to Thanksgiving?
Yep.
Is Thanksgiving like hair thing a big deal?
It depends on how many parties they have to go to, but people plan it like a lot of services last, say, 2 months. So say you got Thanksgiving and Christmas back to back, depending on where they're traveling in between. Yes. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So how is your business going? Well, I'm going to go through a few comments to Starm and everything like that, but give us an update, Terry, on what you've been going on.
Well, I went back and relaunched my old salon in the same location for 15 years. I stepped out of it for like 5 or 6 months, and because I had a car accident, and that's a long story. But I'm relaunching the salon with a new image and with a new direction of maturity. Before, all my workstations, I think Nick would have loved it, were all pianos, and then we displayed all local artists were in our salon displaying their work. And then like over every piano, we had like drums as drum lights. But now I'm moving more into, like I would say, is Chris's world, where Now I'm going to more of a Scotch bar slash, uh, a shot bar slash cigar bar, mature audience, more for the modern museum versus this arts festival museum. So I'm catering now to more of the sophisticated, educated people that are um, have more leisure time to come sit in my chair. And it's just me. I don't have 35 employees. I don't have all that hassle going on anymore. So I can dedicate their time where they sit in my chair. They're my boss, and I service them, versus entertaining the whole audience and be the concierge and run around and take care of all people's headaches, and then try and do my clients.
That's good. You sent a lot of pictures. Now, Terry, I just have to just a little bit of a complaint, man. You like the wood that you have behind you. You like that a lot. I saw that you were putting that up in your salon.
Yeah. Well, the wood behind me was actually the wood that was left over when I had to take out the esthetician's room in my salon.
Oh, it's reclaimed. So that's cool.
Yeah. So I have it here temporary because this is the room I'm remodeling. I'm actually sitting in my future master bathroom, which is a 12 by 12 room.
You're in the bathroom.
Well, there's nothing. It's where my wife and daughter, their soap making business, and
okay.
We do the floor, tear the house up, we do the floor, and our grandkids came to stay. So we made a temporary bedroom with 2 beds and their TV and their games, and this wall was all exposed 2x4s. Let's go into the next room because we have to run the new plumbing in there for the next venture we're doing. So
now I had to do I was commissioned to do some work, some CNC work on a bunch of reclaimed wood.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of different woods, maples, things like that. But I really like Australian burl wood. And it just really carves well. It looks good, especially on some of the things, the bowls and things like that. And you mix them with a good color and it's really good. But reclaimed wood, for me, was probably the easiest to carve and the easiest to do. I enjoyed it.
Not too long ago, like we redid our focus wall in our bedroom, and then all that wood was left over from that project, we built in a built-in fireplace in our house. That's all salvaged wood that's well over 100 years old from barn wood.
Nice.
So it's really nice.
So Brooklyn, I know that you hit me up with your battle tag in World of Warcraft, and I have been too busy, but I am freeing up, so I will be hitting you up on World of Warcraft, and we can hang out and get to play some video games. So, and then Vulcan Maniac, man, I'm so used to Vitruvian Maniac. Nick, what happened? What became of Hyperverse?
Yeah, it was too early for its time. We have the technology now, and when we start engaging developers, we will bring that to the forefront.
Nice.
I put the Discord for my ROI store. What we've been talking about is it's really important that the people in the community between now and March 1st, they know as much about this as possible, because later on it won't be free. So it'll be free for you guys till we start charging on March the 1st. That's when everything, the discount code, everything expires then. So I don't really want to hear it March 2nd. Someone's going to come to me and be like, I didn't know about it.
I didn't know.
So
Chris, did you specify the time zone?
Oh,
for March 1st, time zone.
What time zone, Chris?
Eastern.
That's right.
That's the time always the only time zone.
That's the only time zone. That's exactly.
I know. Kryptonian might argue the Central's the best. I'm just saying.
Well, Kryptonian. See, the problem with Kryptonian is that he's wrong,
and he won't show up on time any time zones. It doesn't
all
matter.
the time. We might want to be careful. He might jump in here and just take us all off and be like, go off 15 minutes talking about.
Expect time zone Central.
Hi, Chris. It's been a long watching you live. Are you okay? I hope you had a good Christmas and holidays. Good to see you here, Chris. Yeah, I'm great. I had the most fantastic holidays. I have personal, exciting things happen to me, like life-changing, great things that happened to me over the holidays. I was away from lives and everything that we were doing to build the platform that we created with my ROI store. I think, like, behind the scenes, most people knew that's what I was doing and everything like that. And if you didn't know about it, I apologize. But I tried to be there for people here and there. Some people would send me stuff and I'd send it off to Nick or whoever. But no, there's nothing wrong with me at all. I'm good to go. And I had a great holiday, and I hope you had a great holiday too.
You just did a pivot.
Yeah. I mean, well, Nick and I, when we were talking before, is that it was something that I wanted to do, and I've accomplished it. And now I'm happy with it. So now the community can take advantage of it or not. You don't have to do anything. And I'm moving on to other things. Like we're going to be working on the platform and adding stuff in there. And if it can be free, it'll be free to the community members forever. So you get it, you keep it forever. If it can't be free, or I have to pay a huge royalties or anything like that, it won't be free, and it'll be something that we charge, and you can decide whether you want to buy it or not. But between now and March 1st, it's free to whoever joins and is part of it. So, Chris, do you know anything about selling options? Yes, I do. Took a class, and I've been focusing on that for a few months, really enjoying it. I know your Forex, which, the options part of it. I would say that, hit me up sometime. I can talk to you about it, but there's a couple of really good people out there. Options are great, but you're pretty much, it's the same thing with most of trading and everything like that. It's player versus player. You're really going after your fortune is someone else's misfortune. So it is tough sometimes, but let's see. Thanks for your time, Nick. For answering the questions, Nick. Really grateful for your leadership on the Vitruvio project. Awesome. Bring it to Vitruvio. I have no goals to make money off of my ROI store. So what you see is what you get. And if we get a partnership and we do something that earns money, it'll be split between everybody. That's another thing too about that community. Once you go in there and you learn about it and everything like that, if after March 1st, when someone buys it, there will be there's going to be a conversation that we're going to have in that community, because we need mods and stuff like that, and we'll need some type of a council or a group of people that we can talk to about. But when it comes time that we're selling products in my ROI store, whatever that might be, if you're a part of it, you'll get an affiliate link, and we'll do a 50-50 split. So, that the purpose is that the overhead of the platforms and stuff like that being paid for, some people need to make, you can't do everything for free, got to make a return on it. But at the same time, you'll have an opportunity to do an affiliate. So, you can either you get it for free and you don't have to do anything ever again, or you can get it for free and you can earn money. So, and nothing out of your pocket. That's the way I like it. And that's what my goal was.
At midnight.
Will we see Vitruvio and Prism do anything together? I think that, I think anything's possible, but Prism is, I'm super bullish on Prism. So anything that they do, it's, I think it's going to be great, whatever they're doing. So Prism's good. Huh? You and I have been like big time. And remember, we were trying to get as much as we possibly could and all that.
Yeah.
But they're doing good work over there. So I don't know. Do you guys, I've reached the end of our questions and stuff like that. And I hope that everybody got their questions, whether they were good or not. I seem to have several messages and stuff like that. So I hope that if there is anything, if you got any other questions, you're still watching or whatever, and we didn't ask them, please throw them up there, because I don't want it to be something that I didn't get a chance to ask my question.
The last question came in 2 minutes ago, so they might be
right.
Yeah.
I think they're okay. Yeah. See, and that's what I think so too.
Yep.
Nah,
Yeah.
no rest.
I want to do.
Too much work to be done. No rest.
Yeah, you've been all over the place. So I know that I always ask you this, and I know it's like everything, but what's the next thing you're doing? So you got the download on Friday, right? So that's at 1. You got anything going on tomorrow? I got anything you just going to be working, or you got any kind of live or any kind of a Discord thing or anything like that?
We are starting to do regular spaces targeting the artists. So we're going to do that at 2 different times to get people in different time zones. So tomorrow at 10 a.m., we will be doing a space, and basically, answering a lot of artists' questions, because we are getting a lot of inbounds. People interested. You have to understand. Artists are coming from a vantage point where they're used to doing something a certain way on Ethereum, on Tezos, on Solana, and now we are telling them here is a whole new different way. You have to unlearn everything you have had so far, and so there's a lot of questions, and it is somewhat from a disbelieving standpoint, because the life of an artist today in Web3 is you mint an artwork, and then you spend some of these artists spend 6-8 hours in a space waiting to speak for 3-5 minutes, because they have to promote their work. And we are telling them that with Vitruvio, you will do none of that. You will create artwork, you will consign it, and you are done. No marketing, no promotion. You don't have to do any of that. And they are very disbelieving of it, because, well, they don't understand that how it can be done. So part of it is explaining to them how we are creating distribution channels, multiple distribution channels, how we are tokenizing licenses on chain, how we are using metadata, which is very granular for discovery and things like that. So it's going to take a while for it to sink in, and but gradually it already is. I was on a space last night where the host basically described Vitruvio in detail to the audience, and it was perfect. He had it, he nailed it. And I'm like, okay, cool. Our messaging is, so it's repeat, right? With any marketing, you do anything new you're doing, it's repetition is the key.
Yep.
So Fur and I are going to be on these spaces, just answering questions again and again. And one of the things is we are catering to a global audience, and a lot of them do not speak English. So Vitru Studio, out of the gate, will support 4 languages. So English. Yeah. English, Spanish, Portuguese, and Persian, Farsi.
Oh wow,
wow!
Yeah, Persian language when it's spoken is very like mesmerizing. I've always been a fan of that. But Joseph, I listen, man. But your questions are ignored. I may not have saw it, but you are literally can type it in right now.
Yeah, he said
I got nothing there. I will bring up your question.
He mentioned the same thing earlier, but I didn't find it above that, so I didn't bring it up.
Yeah. So Joseph, if you have a question and it's been ignored, you're wide open to put anything in there, and I will bring it up and we'll talk about it.
Now he says he's good.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure that you didn't get an opportunity. But so I mean, Vitruvio, tons of stuff going on there. My ROI store.
It looks like it's be way, way bigger than I thought it was. And I thought it was going to be big to begin with, but this is way bigger, Nick. Way bigger than I even envisioned.
Mm-hmm.
It is. And I truly believe we have a very big opportunity here. And, with every startup, there are elements. There's basically 4 elements. There's the vision. There's the team. There's the capital. And a little bit of timing and luck,
Right.
I think we have all of the elements in place. Yeah. The timing of this is very, very good. And with a little bit of luck, luck always plays like you can have the best startup, everything, etc. But, sometimes you just need that little je ne sais quoi, you know what I mean? But I am confident that we've got all the elements in place. And we're just going to keep iterating. Iteration is the name of the game. You don't like just have this grand plan and fix it and go. What you do is you make short plans for short term with a direction, of where you're going, the big direction. So, and then iterate, and get there, because you have to do that, because otherwise, if the market changes, then you're stuck and you cannot move, right? So, but you can be agile if you're iterating, and as the market moves, you can move along with it. Like, for example, if tomorrow some big music label sees what we are doing and says, "Cool, I want to be on here," and they have, like, some huge recording artists, that this thing completely blows up. What do we do? How do we do it? How do we manage that, etc.? Those are kinds of things that I try and think ahead and say, okay, here's what we will do if something like that happens. And I try and always have a plan B, plan C, plan D, for things. But yeah, I'm really excited. I think the secret sauce of this is aligning the interests and the incentives for crypto investors and artists, and we are doing that now. And so, even though you may not care about art, the thing is you can make money off it, and that's what makes it interesting for crypto investors.
I don't think everybody understands how big the my ROI is. My ROI is either. You just see this year there's like all these courses, but they don't understand the depth of the knowledge that's been gathered and put together in a package.
Yeah, that course on
take care of.
That course on WordPress is like 100 videos, man. It's like that's like a college course, semester of college. But anyway, I mean and I'm a little biased, Nick, on when it comes to like Vitruvio and everything, because my goal and what I see in Vitruvio is honestly, I want to see a return on investment. I mean, that's what I want to see. I want to see the community have a return on investment, and I am all for and will 100% support that the means to the end for that. So when we have our conversations, we talk about things. I'm kind of biased, and I'm towards that avenue, thinking, hey, is the community going to get a return on investment? Oh, Bob's got. Oh, he's talking to A&A
about the TLC, talking about Prism on some other Discord.
Yeah, TLC's great. TLC's great. I could never even remotely have anything bad to say about him. He is top notch. That whole Prism group over there is top notch. Yeah, I'm a little biased because some of them are my buddies and everything like that. But I guess
AA's comments were not flattering towards TLC, and so Bob is.
Well, not everybody gets along, and there's different points of view and everything. But bottom line is, I'm all for and all behind people if you do right by individuals.
Yep.
So as long as you do right by individuals, and I see it as doing right by individuals. Hopefully, everybody can come to the conclusion that doing something good for everybody. Oh, there is a comment that came up. Let me pull it up here real quick. Kelly Productions says, Nick, I think the way you are going to the source artists kind of backdoor capture the market. Do you think this approach will produce mass adoption within our niche in a more accelerated way? Kelly always, man. He always has a good comment.
Yeah.
He's an educated young man.
Think so. I certainly think so, because if you look at protocols in general, they're a flywheel, right? You have to do something to get things started, and once the flywheel starts, then it takes off, and as it takes off, you have a network effect, and that network effect is what you're looking for long-term success. So I feel like the approach that we are pursuing is right, because what we are doing is taking the artists and the creators who are already in the space, so they have overcome the hurdle of embracing crypto. So we'll start with them, and then we'll set up workshops, etc. And we are getting a ton of inbounds already from artists who are not yet in the space, who are like, what do I do? How do I get started? And at present, I have to hold them at bay and say that wait till March, because we are going to go through the initial cohort first, and by then we'll have a structured process to onboard you. So yeah, I think so. I think it will work.
Yeah, there you go. Razmataz says, what happened with you guys pushing RSG token, Chris? Anything happening with that? You'll have to check with them on it, but RSG token, top notch. They are completely doxed to us. We know who they are, everything like that. They're great. I have nothing but good things to say about them. If they need me at a moment's notice, previously I wasn't available, but I'm available. If they need anything, I'm a big supporter, happy with them. If they need anything, I'm available. And the other guys, I'm sure they've never brought up anything to me of concern, and they're great. RSG token is a good project, and I highly recommend it. Information Junkie says Bobo is the man. He is a multitasker. Hey, Bob is he's a good guy. I can't say anything bad about him. I know that he has his opinions and stuff like that, but that's what I love about him. Kelly Productions, awesome, the right track. There you go. And Razmataz, good there. I don't really have anything else. If you guys have any questions or anything coming up, I know you guys are talking back and forth to each other, but if you have any questions or that, pop them up there. I think we're gonna wrap it up soon. If you guys have anything that you oh, okay. Yeah. So if you guys have anything, let me know. I think we've covered pretty much everything. I think we'll be doing
I'm just grateful for the chance to come up here and chat again, Chris. I'm glad you're back in action doing these, and happy to come on board here and engage with the community as often as possible. I've always maintained, I like this. I feel like when we have a civilized conversation and ask questions and all that, this is great. This is how and every single time I come here, some of these questions trigger ideas. So I always have my notebook, and here I have a list of 8 things I wrote down that are going to be changes or things that action items basically that come from some of the questions, so this is always productive and useful for me.
Yeah, and my goal is that it always has been, is that I want the community to see a return on investment. If I can help in any way for that, great. But at the same time, they're going to have to make their own decisions. That buying boosters and putting money into different things, that's going to be on them. They're going to have to make that decision and everything like that. But giving you the opportunity to talk about Vitruvio, giving the opportunity for me to talk about my ROI store, and us having the opportunity just to hang out, and hopefully the community gets educated, and they can make an educated decision on what's going on. I am the man. Is there still a bonus for buying 7 boosters?
Yes, it's the early bird program, and we haven't reached capacity yet. So the super early bird boosters, the one who came in at, I think, 435 or 436, they'll have an additional benefit, and I committed to announcing that on Friday. But yeah, we'll keep the early bird program going.
That's great. It's like I said, as long as it's good for everybody. Okay, so if you got any questions, hit me up or hit up the Discord. If you had anything that we didn't answer here, I'm sure there's plenty of people in Discord. We'll try to get together. Maybe we'll do just an informal thing once a week, see how things go with people, and bring in different ideas, hopefully. But get your get what you're going to do with the swapper DApp. Get that taken care of. We got till the 16th, so focus on that. Ask as many questions as you can. Get educated. Get it done so it's out of the way so we can move on to other things. But Terry, you got anything else?
I'm good, man. I'm just glad to be here and hang out with you guys.
Yeah, it's fun.
Always fun.
Nick, anything else before we go?
Yeah, I just want to address Bitcoin's comment. He says the early birds program disappeared. So I had them remove it in reaction to the announcement yesterday, and now I will ask them to put it back in reaction to the announcement today. So it will be back.
All right.
Okay, guys. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate you having me here. I really enjoyed this.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Have a good night.